Hey guys, Matt Hoover here. I just wanted to show you how you can remove the slop from your Hypertrucks. So here I've just taken off the kingpin nylock nut here, and you can see how much longitudinal movement you get here, as well as lateral. Now here you can see the gap between the end of the bushing and the start of the metal top truck. This fore and aft movement I measured, and it's about 3/10 of a millimeter. The problem with the slop comes from these bushings here and here on both the front and the back. What happens is they get compressed and they lose their shape, and the bore becomes a little bit bigger, the end flange becomes a little bit thinner, and until it no longer really fits this top truck anymore. So because we have this slop in the bushings here, which is causing this movement, we have to tighten this kingpin nut way too tight so that it presses these two aluminum top truck arms together, closing that 3/10 of a millimeter gap and reducing the slop. And if you don't make it that tight, then you're going to have a little bit of that slop still in there. And even if you do tighten it really tight, it can shift slightly. It's just pushing against those plastic bushings. So this distance here, if you measure this distance and you measure this distance, you'll see that there's 3/10 of a millimeter more space here, or 3/10 of a millimeter longer. Doesn't sound like much, but you saw how much that was moving. So what's the solution? The solution is this: a bronze bushing. It will never lose its shape, and it's an exact drop-in replacement for the plastic bushing. You can see the brass bushing is a little bit shorter, but the flange on the end is 0.15 millimeters longer than on the plastic bushing. And what that means is that it fits exactly, perfectly back into the Hypertrucks. So it's recommended with brass or bronze bushings to use white lithium or graphite grease. So this is what we'll apply to this. Got the lithium grease and the brass bushings just pushed in there, and I will reinstall it. And you'll see how it's just so exact. I mean, it has to be put in there just perfectly. Install the kingpin here. Now, an important point is that I don't have to go very tight on that nylock nut. There's no need. Previously, we were doing that to compress these two arms together and remove the slop. But now that we don't need that, all we have to do is get this nice and snug. It doesn't have to be overly tight. And still, zero play in any direction. Just nice, smooth rotation. So anyway, this is the upgrade that you guys should make to your Nazare or Lonestar.